Squeeze Reactions, man. Back with another Toronto, Tales of Toronto.
Yeah. Squeeze La Familia.
Squeeze La Familia, man. No more Squeeze Gang. Squeeze Gang discontinued after season 1 of the hoodies because it's already there. It's already printed out. So next season, Squeeze La Familia. We still Squeeze Gang until about September. Alright, September we not Squeeze Gang no more. So we Squeeze Gang till September. Merch coming by March, man. So just be patient. Website coming soon. All sizes for the little dudes, the big dudes, the little girls, whatever. But like, comment, subscribe. Let's start this. Worst mass shooting in Toronto. I know these niggas. I know they ain't start shooting on New Year's. Start shooting the crowd up. They did that. That's hands down the worst in the ever. Why is starting off on New Year's?
Yeah,
they sprayed up New Year's.
I ain't gonna lie, that's tight. They do that.
They sprayed up the New Year's event. They different. Imagine somebody do that in Times Square. They gonna die. They going to
dying right
die.
there.
The police, so much
police. Go crazy on them.
I know what they did. That's in 2012.
Toronto.
2012. I was locked up, gangster. I was like this though on New Year's. I'm watching this shit. I'm like, nigga, I got like 5 months left. I was so happy when 2012 New Year's came, nigga. I was like, oh yeah, I'm short now, niggas.
2012 New Year's.
2012.
I don't even know what I was doing.
You probably was sleeping, little dude. Probably in the crib, like, man, I don't care about no fucking New Year's. Sleeping, wake up, like, I don't care. It's a regular day. Nah. For me, I was in jail, like, nigga, May 27th, I go home, nigga, 2012.
2012. From the drama at City Hall involving Mayor Rob Ford and his fellow councilors.
I get to move that budget because this snake should be back in his cage where it comes from.
What?
To the stylish pet monkey that got lost at a local IKEA.
Anyone lose their monkey at IKEA?
2012 was definitely the year of outlandish headlines, but nothing captured the world's attention more than the brazen gun violence the city was experiencing.
No matter
the country or language, the headlines from Toronto are the same.
A shooting spree inside a downtown mall.
Across the globe, television stories and newspaper reports describe the violence and chaos at the Eaton Centre.
Fast forward to June 2nd. 2 people were killed in a gang shooting at the Eaton Center Mall, which left 6 innocent bystanders wounded and hundreds of shoppers trapped when the violence unfolded. Then, just days after the Eaton Center shooting, notorious drug trafficker and rival of Sinaloa cartel affiliate Nick Nero, John Raposo, was shot 4 times in the head at point-blank range on a College Street restaurant patio that was filled with people watching a soccer game. The incident made international headlines, though city officials pointed to the wider statistics that paint a picture of a city that is both safe and highly livable. However, as all this was happening, a decade-long gang rivalry in the city's East End would boil over.
Wearing a white golf shirt.
During what many call the largest street gang investigation in Toronto's history, the long-standing gang rivalry stems from a confrontation with another group that calls the streets of this area home. The Malvern crew has its fair share of ties to criminal activity. Malvern gang members were also rounded up by police in 2004. Many from both gangs have since been released.
During the early 2000s, Scarborough gained notoriety for its incredulous gun crime. In May 2004, Toronto Police Services targeted an infamous Scarborough gang, the Malvern crew, after a rash of gun violence in the area. Project Impact.
White boys getting it cracking out there. For the grave.
The cripple gangs
led to 65 arrests of alleged members who faced a total of more than 500 charges, including attempted murder. At the time, it was Ontario's largest anti-gang crackdown ever. With subsequent investigations, Toronto police discovered that members of Malvern Crew's rival gang, the Galloway Boys, were in fact the ones responsible for most of the gun crime in the area.
The so-called Galloway Boys have
I'm sorry, the black dudes put that work in. The white boys probably with the little fiends, copping and shit got caught up because you know what they be doing fast sweeps. You know, crackheads be getting indicted, all kind of shit. Wow. They be like, yeah, this is indict these crackheads so they can tell that they've been selling them crack for 10 years and shit like that.
For a long time. Just ask the police.
The Galloway Boys typically are just a little bit south of here, off of Kingston Road in the Galloway area. This would normally be referred to as the Orton Park area.
One homicide investigation led to Project Pathfinder, which resulted in the arrests of more than 24 G-Way members and associates. The city would see a dramatic decrease in violent crimes in the following years. However, residents were concerned it wouldn't be long before the Malvern crew and the Galloway boys got back out. There were actually conflicts within the jails, within the facilities, said one source, adding that many of the men arrested in the crackdowns and convicted of gun possession were only given 5 to 8 year jail terms. She went on further saying, "So not only did we know that after 5 or 7 years they were coming back out, but they were being released at the same time as each other, and many of them hadn't moved from the community, so there was a lot of concern that when these guys came back out, they may not necessarily be on the streets controlling things, but they were able to have influence on some of the younger kids, especially the ones who watched them go to prison." Well, they were right. When they were released around 2010, they began mentoring youths recruited into the gang. The younger members obtained guns and used them in conflicts for control of the gang and territory, resulting in a string of shootings and killings in 2010 and 2011. By the summer of 2012,
the niggas came home and got all the little niggas that was like 9 or 12, 10 when they went away. Niggas was like 16 now. They like, yeah, nigga, time to get crip up.
Time to get active.
Yeah,
get that fit.
Yeah, it's time to
that dubbing.
Yeah. I see what we went through. Nigga, it's your turn. Niggas be bro. I'm telling you, all
hands be like that.
All hands be gassing niggas, bro. Yo, yeah, niggas be acting like jail.
Yeah, man, you ain't gonna get that much time, man. You young, man. You do it.
Sending my niggas in there to go commit shit they ain't do. Niggas is crazy.
Things were no different. In fact, it only got worse. On July 16th, 2012, Danzig resident Shannon Longshaw, a 28-year-old mother of 2, organized a Blocko party for the Danzig Street housing complex located in Galloway. Since the 1970s, Blocko parties have been held each year at different Toronto community housing residences without incident, but all of that would change on this day. Several newly recruited members.
Y'all come on, man. How y'all gonna have a block party in the op hood? Like, y'all know it's up. They say they do it in different communities every time, but y'all know y'all gotta skip them red zones. You gotta stay out them red zones. If y'all know niggas be getting shot over there, why the fuck would you put the fucking block party there?
I ain't gonna lie. Shit, the shit we had out here was always on our block.
Yeah, we also a third. Also a third. Feel me?
Shit,
and
the last
one, the nigga got smoked. Rest in peace. He got smoked, and ain't been no more up there since. You feel me? And it been nutty at them shit before that. We whipped the nigga out 2015, knocked the nigga tooth out, all kind of cut his jeans out, all kind of bro. We can get a story time. That's the next story time. Next story time. Also a third. Yeah. I punched the nigga Koofy off. Yep, sure did.
The Galloway boys caught wind of the party. One of them was 19-year-old Nahum Segazab. On his Twitter account, at Two-Tone Shorty, he had been promoting the neighborhood gathering as a Hennessy block party. The messages promised a live DJ and 30 bottles of Hennessy cognac on ice, free for all. Over the course of a week, more than 24 open invitations were sent from the account and spread across social media.
He gave a whole drop on that shit. I mean, people was gonna know it was there anyway, but he like, yeah, we gonna have a Henny. It's gonna be lit. Pull up, like, inviting motherfuckers. He invited the smoke. Much
traction that Danzig residents made Twitter posts expressing concerns over the potential for violence, but it certainly did not stop anyone from going. The party began at Shannon Longshaw's backyard at 2 p.m. Tenants provided food and children's activities, including face painting and an improvised water slide. Nahum handed out school supplies and basketballs. The children's party was to end at 5 p.m., but by then adults were already assembling in the parking lot, and that's when the Galloway boys, quote-unquote, took ownership of the party. By 7 p.m., a crowd was gathering and alcohol was being consumed to loud hip-hop music. An hour later, there were Jaguars and Hummers parked around the block, pot smoke in the air, and more than 200 people packing the complex's narrow internal lane. Worried about the presence of people they did not know, some residents took their children inside their homes. One resident could not use the walkway without bumping into people.
But But you know, when this shit like this in the community, bro, you know the kids is outside running around. There's so much people out. You know the kids is out there running around, playing tag, doing all this other shit. Niggas come spray this shit up. That's fucked up, bro. Damn. Because I can't even say it's dark out, bring the kids out. This the community. Like, it's still mad people outside. The kids, bro, be little niggas outside the 1 in the morning where they be lit outside like block parties. You feel me? Because the parents is out there, so they just outside running around playing tag. Oh, we up late tonight. Little kids chilling like, damn, son.
Describing it as being like a jammed nightclub. Several noise complaints were made to police and bicycle patrol.
I think I know he get old because I be getting tight when I see shit like mass shootings, like in stupid places like that. Back in the day, I didn't give a fuck. I'd be like, damn, I don't care. Now I'll be like, damn, so there be kids out there and shit. If it's just niggas and shit, I don't really give a fuck. But there be kids and shit outside, I'll be getting sad and shit. I'll be like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Niggas gotta have a little heart, man.
Were dispatched, but the party was allowed to continue. Amongst the large crowd was 14-year-old Cheyenne Charles and 23-year-old Joshua Yasay. Joshua was a York University criminology graduate, an honor roll student intending to parlay his degree into a career with the police force, possibly in forensics. He volunteered at Lester B. Pearson High School in Malvern, shooting hoops with youngsters after school and helping them with their homework. In 2011, he opened up a barbershop in Ajax called the Goodfellas Barber Lounge. 14-year-old Cheyenne Charles was a student athlete who had just finished her freshman year at West Hill Collegiate and was an active member of the local Boys and Girls Club. She was known for always offering to help staff and encouraging younger kids to play sports or learn how to dance. On the day of the block party, Cheyenne was texting with a friend about what was going on. Yo, cut from there. The friend wrote, "Why?" Cheyenne asked. "I'm worried for you guys," the friend said. "What happened?" "We're good," Cheyenne said. Meanwhile, Joshua Yasay drove to the party from Ajax with a friend after spending the day working at his newly opened barbershop. A few hours later, Yasay texted a friend, Steven, to say the party was a disappointment. "It's not really my scene. I don't feel like being here. Don't be there. Just leave," Steven replied. Both Cheyenne and Joshua stopped replying to messages at 10:16 p.m.
Damn.
It was at this point in time when Nahum and his brother Nayad.
It's really crazy though that they somebody told them not to be there, and the other nigga was like, "I don't want to be here. Like, this ain't my vibe," and he stayed. I'm pretty sure he died and she died. You feel me? And the other dude told her to leave.
Died instantly after making that text. Though.
That's crazy though. Probably not instantly because they said that was 10:16 was the last text. Let's see what time they start spraying.
With several other Galloway boys, started G-checking people they did not recognize and telling them to leave. 18-year-old Shaquan, a freshly recruited Malvern crew member known as Bam Bam, who had come to the party alone, was ordered to leave by Nayad. He even threatened to shoot Shaquan if he did not leave immediately. Angry at being forced to leave, Shaquan sent out a number of texts as well as social media posts asking fellow Malvern crew associates to shoot up the party with him. Nahum was warned about the potential shooting. He then armed himself with a .40 caliber pistol and told other G-Way affiliates to be prepared for a possible shootout, which they did.
Wow.
About 45 minutes would pass before Shaquan returned with Folorenzo Owusu, a.k.a. Chaotic. Chaotic was a 17-year-old gang member from the Chester Lee crew, another violent Scarborough gang. Both Chaotic and Shaquan were confronted by Nahum, who displayed a handgun and even challenged Chaotic to a fight if he did not leave. Residents at the scene calmed Nahum and had him put the gun away, warning him about the kids in the area. It was at that moment when Chaotic opened fire with a handgun, striking Nahum twice. Nahum.
Soon as you look, nigga backed out, put it back away, and nigga boomed him. You playing around. You pulling out no gun and not using it.
To the ground in front of 207 Danzig Street. He then reached for his gun and started recklessly firing rounds at Chaotic.
Wow. He probably, damn, son.
Danzig, a small street in Scarborough that many had never even heard of until they woke up to this.
24 people.
Good morning, this is Breakfast Television. We'll have the latest for you on this East End shooting.
News of the worst mass shooting in this city's history. Jarring images of panic, fear, and disbelief.
Damn, son. They the two that died.
Nahum fired 11 shots into the crowded party, hitting Chaotic several times. A third shooter associated with
Nahum. Chaotic though. He hit the nigga that boomed him.
Yeah.
At least he got his.
At least he got
pulled out an Uzi submachine gun and proceeded to spray recklessly into the crowd.
Damn,
24 innocent people were hit and 3 people were trampled by the panicked crowd, including a pregnant woman. The shooting victims' ages ranged from 22 months old to 33 years old. Cheyenne Charles was fleeing from the initial gunfire when she ran into the line of fire of the Uzi spray. She was struck by several bullets and collapsed and passed on the doorstep of 203 Danzig Street. Joshua Yasay was shot by a bullet that pierced his heart and lungs, killing him instantly. 2 hours after the shooting, Shaquan's home, which he shared with his mother, was shot up. Fortunately, she wasn't hit. Chaotic and the rest of the injured
Shaquan was just.
Shaquan was the one that was with Chaotic, right?
That was right. All right.
Many of which suffered life-altering injuries were taken to 5 area hospitals by 16 ambulances and an emergency medical services bus. This was the first occasion that Sunnybrook Hospital's trauma center, then the largest of its kind in Canada, declared a code orange for mass casualties with almost 100 staff involved in the response. 3 years after the incident, a team of paramedics were honored for their actions during the shooting. Chaotic was released from hospital a short time later as police weren't able to link him to the incident. 6 weeks later, he was riding a bike near his home in the Chester Lee area of Scarborough.
He got out the hospital and got up out of there? Wow.
A male approached him and fired 1 shot at him. The shooter was later identified as Nahad, Nahum's 15-year-old brother. It is clear that Nahad...
Wow. Niggas called him lacking on a bike and boomed him.
Treating like JoJo.
Boomed him. Oh my god. And he 15.
...to kill Chaotic, but apparently his gun jammed, causing him to fire the 1 shot. That shot, coincidentally, struck Chaotic in one of his legs. He managed to run home while Nahad ran off. Both were eventually arrested for the shooting. Following an investigation, the police obtained information that connected Chaotic and Nahad back to the Danzig incident. Both were subsequently charged with first-degree murder and other serious offenses. Toronto was left mourning for weeks. During that time, prayers, tributes, and donations poured out from locals and people around the world. When city officials were questioned again about the safety of the city, they again diverted to the wider statistics presenting Toronto as one of the safest cities in North America.
For Mayor Ford, though, the message is the city is safe. What happened on Danzig Street is not part of a greater trend.
I consider it isolated. I know this is a...
That nigga smoke crack. That's the mayor, the nigga that smoke crack, bro. I think that's him. Is it him? I think that's him. It could be him or it could be... Yeah, I think that's the main dude that smoke crack, bro. Gangster.
Safest city in the world. I've always said that.
The day after the shooting, Drake tweeted his condolences to the families of Cheyenne and Joshua and said, "Senseless violence in Toronto has to stop." He later pays tribute to both of them on a track called No Guns Allowed, featuring Snoop Dogg. At the 2-minute mark, he recalls getting a tearful call from a friend about the tragedy. Drake also penned a message to the killer, telling him everyone is real eager for conviction. Fast forward 3 years later, the Danzig Street trial would begin, and first up would be Malvern crew member Shaquan. After an extensive investigation, police uncovered shocking evidence, revealing he was in an apartment building 9 kilometers away at the time of the shooting. In fact, no connection was found between Shaquan and Chaotic, who had initiated the shooting. Weirdly, Shaquan had continued to claim credit for the shooting throughout the 30 months he was in pretrial custody. His lawyer suggested that since he had called for people to shoot up the party, he may have thought people close to him had done it and so took responsibility. Shaquan pleaded guilty on January 23, 2015, to counseling to commit murder, possession of a firearm, breach of a prohibition order, and uttering a threat. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison. Nahum Segazev pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter and 6 counts of aggravated assault and was sentenced to 14 years in prison. Nahum admitted that in participating in the gunfight, he was a party to all the ensuing deaths and injuries. In March of 2020, he was granted day parole, which was extended in October for another 6 months. Nahum's little brother, Nayad, pleaded guilty to the attempted murder of Chaotic in the Chester Lee shooting, as he carried out the attack in belief that Chaotic had shot his brother. Nayad, who was 16 at the time of the incident, was sentenced as an adult to 7 years in prison. He was released in January 2018. Chaotic pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder against Nahum, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and 1 charge of reckless discharging of a firearm. The defense maintained during the 7-week trial that Chaotic was innocent and a victim of circumstance, shot while attending the party. The Crown later provided a recording of Nayad in the courthouse cells identifying Chaotic as his brother's shooter. However, Nayad testified that he invented the story to look tougher in jail, while Nahum testified that Chaotic did not shoot him at all. Despite the testimonies, Chaotic, who was 17 at the time of the incident, was sentenced as an adult to life in prison on December 7th, 2016. He was eligible for parole after 7 years, but was denied at his most recent hearing. As of the making of this video, he is still incarcerated.
I'm happy that Josh's family got justice, but I'm still hurt that my daughter's killer is still out there.
That suspect number 5 that you're talking about, would you like to plead to him or any words to say to him?
No.
If he's watching right now, what message would you like to send to him?
Too many lives have been gone. My daughter was only 14. She didn't deserve to die like that. And I want him to come forward. Like, you know who you are. You know what you did. And people know who did it. And they need to put themselves in my shoes. And they need to realize that a 14-year-old girl got killed for no reason. For no reason.
Halep was found lying in the stairwell at the south end of 4110 Lawrence Avenue East. The bullet holes start on the 2nd floor and they continue on the wall behind me. We can see 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the ceiling, a 7th in the side, and the 8th pierces through the corner and lands on the far wall. There were no children at the daycare center at the time because of the weather, but normally the area would have a lot of traffic, parents and kids going in and out.
2 arrests have now been made in the shooting death of a man inside a Scarborough apartment building Tuesday afternoon. 25-year-old Dean Howlett of Whitby was shot and killed in the stairwell of the building on Lawrence Avenue near Galloway. And now, 22-year-old Naod Segazev is charged with second-degree murder, while 21-year-old Joseph Carlton Bryan is charged with accessory after the fact. Both men are from Toronto and are set to appear in court today.
Squeeze, they home. Like I was described, that was fire. That was a good one.
Yeah,
but it was a good one. Leave your thoughts in the comments, man. Follow me on the gram, send them shits in, man. Y'all know what to do.
Share this video too on all y'all social medias.
Mike G's in Toronto. Share this video. Yeah, share this with y'all Toronto friends and y'all Canada friends.
Yeah.
Squeeze.